30 Days of Kidnapping by Hyperintrovert on AR3. Chapter 13, Day 5, Part 1. So, you got kidnapped by John Constantine? The John Constantine? Jaz's eyes were wide with disbelief. Danny giggles. Yes! And he was so nice! Like, I was half... Jaz and Danny both snorted, expecting an asshole with everything I've been told about him. Yeah, okay, that's cool, awesome even, but Danny, he kidnapped you! Throwing her hands up, she starts pacing. Why? This isn't something to be happy about. You always criticize the people I like, Danny groans. Besides, he was trying to help me, he smirks and chuckles. He thought I was possessed. I criticize the people because they are dangerous people. Jaz pauses, hair pacing, as she tries to keep from laughing. You? Possessed? No. And I don't like dangerous people. Danny crossed his arms. I don't like flat or lax, he sasses, with all the power of a barely teenager. Jaz huffs. I swear, with your attitude, you could make Batman cry. Danny snorts. Oh, Agent, that would be a sight to see. Crackling, he clutches his stomach. I can see the headlines now. Batman cries because of sassy teen. How much money do you think I could make from it? Danny! What? Not like I'm ever going to see him. Danny! He cringes. Great, she's using her I'm about to get really mad voice, also referring to as the mom voice. But that just felt weird to say. With an defeated sigh, he hangs his head. I won't. I will try not to make Batman cry if I meet him. Thank you. Jaz smiles and ruffles his hair. Now, what do you want to do today? Swinging her arms away. Why do I care? I'm going to get kidnapped anywhere I go, so you pick. Rolling her eyes. Can you be positive for once? Danny pauses for a moment before he gives a big smile and says in a happy, peppy voice, I am positive I'm going to get kidnapped today. Jaz covers her mouth with her hand to stop herself from laughing. Okay, smartass, I choose the museum. Danny flops on the floor and groans. Fine. Just for your information, a museum is a crappy place to get kidnapped from. With a fond smile, she shakes her head. I can think of worse, and you might get kidnapped before or after. She sings songs. Stupid phantom luck, he mutters with annoyance. Jaz pats his head. Only to you. I don't have this bad luck. Though we decided the nasty burger was better. Jaz looks at Danny with confusion. Yeah? He asks with his mouth full of bad burger, taking a deep breath. Then why are you eating it? Danny raises his eyebrow. I feel like this should be obvious. It's still good, just not as good as nasty. And this is the Red Hood hoagie. Jaz shakes her head and lightly chuckles. I swear. Hey! Jaz and Danny turn around and see a blonde girl running to them and waving her arms. She looked a bit like a crazy person. Well, this is Gotham. Danny looks at Jaz and gives her a what's going on look. Jaz just shrugs in confusion. Can we help you? Jaz asks. She is the people person. Danny takes a step forward, making a block between the girl and Jaz. The blonde girl stops and smiles. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. It's just you look so much like a friend of mine. I thought you were him for a minute. Danny groans. Please tell me you're not going to kidnap me too. The blonde girl looks surprised. What? Jaz smacks Danny. Sorry, he's on edge. He's been kidnapped 4 days in a row and thinks it's going to happen again. Danny sticks his tongue out at Jaz before looking at the girl. Would your friend happen to be, Tim Drake? why? Blondie still hasn't lost her confused look. Jazz slaps Danny over the head. Danny! You did not tell me you were kidnapped because you were mistaken for Tim Drake. Ow, Jazz, that hurt. What are you, Superman? Danny pounds as he rubs his head. And first of all, you didn't ask. And second, I didn't know why I was kidnapped by the first group, and I was the only one who mentioned Tim Drake. And that was in passing. And I told you why, Mr. C did. With a huff, he crosses his arms. And one more thing. Who is Tim Drake? Jazz lets out a soul-arching sigh as she hangs her head. Danny, oh Danny. She rubs her face as she whines in embarrassment. Wait, you really don't know who Tim Drake is? Blondie looks flabbergasted. Then he shakes his head. He really didn't know about the living famous, well, except for the astronauts and Dumpty Humpty. Do you know who Bruce Wayne is? Danny raised an eyebrow. Why did she sound like Danny was stupid? Snapping his fingers, he turns to Jazz. That's the guy Tucker is obsessed with, right? The one Sam swears is Batman? Jazz buries her face in her hands. Yes. Beaming, then he turns back to Blondie. Yeah, I know who he is. Duh. The blonde is quiet for a minute before she bursts out laughing. Oh God, I love you. Oh, can I please hang out with you? Then he shrugs and looks to Jazz, leaving the decision to her. We are going to the museum. Maybe you can give us a tour? Jazz asks, with a small smile. Oh yeah, it will be fun. I'm Steph, by the way. Steph extends her hand. Jazz shakes her hand. Danny does not. Sorry, I don't like touching people. Danny tilts his head and gives a half smile. For some reason, people let him do anything when he did this. His first superpower, way before he even knew that what a superpower were, and he was never more thankful for it. Thanks to Jazz, Sam, and Tucker, Danny knew he was wearing cold to the touch. And for some reason, the living don't like that, so he tries not to touch people if he had to. He made sure it wasn't skin to skin. Steph drops her hand. That's cool. I know someone else who doesn't like touch. So you've got kidnapped 4 times in how many days? Since we got to Gotham, 4 and 4. Danny shrugs. Not like it's the first time. Steph chuckles. Oh, that sucks. Wait, what? Danny groans. Why did we come here? It's so boring. If you even think about banging your head on anything in here, I will end you. Jazz states with utter calmness. Danny stops mid-headbang and looks at Jazz. How? How did you know? She's not even looking at him. She's paying all her attention to a statue. Steph chuckles. Oh, I like you, Jazz. That was impressive. And, addressing Danny, you do know you can make noises and touch some of the works, right? Throwing his hands in the air. Oh, now you tell me! Huffing, he crosses his arms and turns away from the 2 devils in disguise. Both girls start giggling. Don't worry, Danny. We will go to Bad Burgers after. Jazz speaks with amusement, lowering her voice. Danny scoffs. I'd rather go to the cemetery. Steph raises an eyebrow. Why? Danny and Jazz tense slightly and look at each other. Danny panics and says the first thing that comes to his mouth, like the idiot he is. The food is better. Jazz face palms. What? Steph was officially confused. Ignore him. He's an idiot and stressed. Jazz gives Steph a small smile. So you were going to give us a tour? Steph beams as she finishes up the tour. Wow, got to admit, you make something as boring as a museum seem fun. While Danny was earnest, he was too tense to fully convey so. Thanks, I don't like boring stuff either, so I always try to make it fun. Steph smirks. Plus, It always annoys my family. Chaz and Danny look at her in confusion. Family? Chaz asks. Chuckling, Steph explains. My friends that are basically family. Danny nods. Like Sam and Tuck. Chaz rolls her eyes. They are family with how much they are over. Danny chuckles lightly. Does that mean Fruit Loop is family too? Chaz blanks, then hits Danny as she yells, Don't say that. That is never. Steph raises an eyebrow as Danny is laughing and pleading for his sister to spare him. All three of them jump when the heavy bang of the museum security door slams shut. Fuck! Danny whispers as he gets up and tries to see where the attack is going to come from in the dim lighting. Then he wakes up with a groan and a mutter. I swear if one more person who kidnaps me knocks me out. Looking around, he sees Steph and Jazz tied in chains and still out cold. No visible injuries. Good. Well, looks like the bed woke up earlier than expected. Oh well. Comes over the speakers. Riddle me this. What has two hands, a face, runs, yet stays in place? Oh, agents, just kill me. Then he throws his head back with a groan. The Riddler chuckles. I see you are still in training then. Let's try another one. I am unpredictable, but you still rely on me. My installments give you the experience of life for free. I offer no refunds, returns, or exchanges. What am I? You sound like this old stopwatch. Time! Daniel lets out a little giggle. Quite good. Now, its inventor doesn't want it. The man who brought it doesn't need it. And the man who needs it doesn't know they do. What am I? Muttering under his breath. I hate riddles. They can go suck a lemon. With a huff? Food? Not everyone needs that. Well, not everyone, but whatever. I don't know. Wow, you're quite a bad bat. Danny raises an eyebrow. But, never mind. The answer is a coffin. Riddler chuckles. And if you can not get out of my trap in time, all three of you will be in one. The sound of rushing water becomes apparent. Danny looks around, seeing water purring in the room. Oh, okay, for some reason, the Riddler thinks I'm a bat and is trying to kill me? Okay. Maybe he could use this to his advantage. Looking around, he pretends to struggle with the chains for a minute before having the chains fall off. Now to free Chaz and Steph. After he gets the chains off of them, he wakes them up and tells them what's going on. So, the Riddler thinks I'm a bat and is either trying to help train me or is trying to kill all of us? I still don't know which. Steph lets out a few light chuckles before she explodes into laughter and falls on the ground, kicking her legs as she winces. Okay, Jazz rolls her eyes. I'm sure between the three of us, we can make it out. Glad you have confidence in us. Because I don't know if you remember, but I suck at riddles. Danny huffs, then mutters. If I was good at them, I would understand the old stopwatch. Chaz rolls her eyes and whispers to Danny. I was referring to the backup plan. Oh! Danny's eyes lit up with understanding. Hey! Chaz and Danny turn to Steph. How can get one into a locked cemetery at night? She reads off a plaque on the door, letting out a nervous chuckle. Danny chokes. You need a skeleton key, duh. The door opens. But that was a pun! Danny throws his hands up. The Riddler does puns as well. Steph shrugs. Chaz giggles at Danny's disbelieving face. 30 minutes left. That damn voice sings. Then he glares at the speaker. He officially hates the Riddler. It's okay, Danny. Chaz puts her hand on his shoulder and offers a confirming smile. We're almost done. Danny huffs, still blows. Hey, on the bright side, when we make it out of here, we will be as smart as Batman. Steph chuckles as she is picking up random stuff in the escape room. Then he glares at Steph, then turns to the speakers. Hey ass! Ever thought about opening a legal, non-killing escape room? You know, where people pay you to trap them. Crossing his arms, Danny starts to pace. Right now, they had to find the skeleton key. Danny rolls his eyes. If his sister's life was on the line, he might actually be having fun. Well, if Sam and Tucker were with him also. I'm always around, but unseen. I'm often avoided, but never outrun. I could find you at the end of the road, or even the next corner. What am I? Chaz and Danny snort as soon as she finishes reading the note. That's so easy, Danny smirks while Chaz giggles. How? Steph crosses her arms. I can't think of anything. In sync, both Danny and Chaz answer, death. Steph blinks in surprise. That was a bit creepy. All three of them start looking around when they hear the sound of something unlocking. Chaz goes to check the door and shakes her head. Not it. Danny rubs his face. I swear if this man does not open a Riddler escape room, I'ma kill him. He is so annoying. I'd rather deal with Boxley. Chaz nods. Sure you do. I have taken your idea in consideration, and if you can manage to escape in the next 5 minutes, I will give up the crime life and open my own non-lethal escape room. Riddler's voice blasts from the speakers. Danny smirks and looks at Chaz. Chaz winks and goes to help distract Steph. Double-checking that he would be free of cameras, then he starts to stick his hands in all the locks and coded items. After a few tries, he finds the key. A literal skeleton key. How original. Then he rolls his eyes. Lame. Hey, I think I found the key. He walks up to the two girls, trying to open a safe, and holds up the skeleton key. Chaz rolls her eyes while Steph groans. Why is he so lame? Chuckling, Danny opens the door. Immediately is hit in the face by the door swinging open. Falling down, he grabs his nose, groaning in pain. Chaz gapes while Steph calls out, Great going! You probably broke the poor kid's nose. Sitting up, he hears rapid apologies. He rubs his nose, not broken, but damn! Looking up, his eyes widen when he sees Nightwing in front of him. Then he scrambles backwards when Nightwing moves closer. He didn't understand why it was so hard to breathe. He didn't need to breathe. Oh fuck, Nightwing was saying something. Fuck. Danny was making Nightwing mad by not responding. What was Nightwing saying? Oh, Agent. He was saying how he was going to torture Danny with his electrical fighting sticks. Oh god. No, agents. Oh, holy hell. Clockwork save him. Danny! Chaz. That was Chaz. She sounded afraid. Chaz was in danger. Snapping his head to Chaz's direction, he sees she is uninjured but in clear distress. Chaz! Danny feels something wet on his cheeks before he is pulled in a comforting hug by Chaz. It's okay, she whispers in his ear. While combing her fingers through his hair, Chaz keeps whispering smooth nothings in his ear until Danny stops crying. When did he start crying? When he pulls away, Danny scans the room and doesn't see Nightwing. Did I imagine that? He looks at Chaz, and she shakes her head. No, he was here, but I told him to piss off. No, Batman is here also, just outside the door. I wanna go home. Danny lays his head on her shoulders. I know. How about we go to the hotel and you get some sleep while I order some food and coffee? He nods and takes a deep breath. Yeah. Jess gives him a sly smirk. We need to get past a few birds and a bat. Any idea how? Danny chuckles. Who would have thought you would be an agent of chaos also? I'm just looking out for my little brother.